I started off by importing random and creating a list, which I called deck, which has all the cards except it's missing a couple tens because reasons. Next, I made some variables to account for the bets. After that, I started writing out the game itself, creating some variables to allow you to start the game, which didn't work. Instead, I just ended up making it make it so you input a number instead of typing yes. So first I was making a random choice from the deck, and this was before I really understood how the random module worked. So here I was just testing with it a bit, figuring out how to make it work. So after I did that, I did a bit of reading up on it in the manuals and ended up redoing that. So I had to make it so that I chose each one of these, and then after that I made it print the number that player 1 started with. After that I had to make sure that I went back and made the cards leave the deck after they were drawn, which is what I was checking how to do here. See, down here, deck dot. Accidentally used pop here, though it's actually deck dot remove. I removed each variable there from the deck, and I had to make sure that was correct. Then I implemented a hit or stay, which was at first again determined with a variable, which then I realized here wouldn't work, so I just made it numbers. And so here for the first option, where you get to either hit or stay, if B was 1, then you would be drawing, and if it wasn't, then it would just set your first number equal to the number that you would have after you drew. After that, I cleaned it up a little, made it look better, made it so you see your numbers, just had a bit better formatting for that. So yeah, after that, I to figure out how I would make it so you can't cheat, I just defined a function to do that, something that I'd forgotten how to do, so I had to quickly check that, so I just made it do that, and then I used the stall function, testing it out a little. I would later have to go back to make it so player 1 can see what they drew before using the stall function, so I did eventually fix that, cleaned it up a little, made it just look a bit better. I worked on player 2's turn right here, which was pretty good. I'm happy with how that turned out. Also the draw, it's pretty much the same as the first, except that it's with new variables for player 2. Then here I have the choice from the deck, and here I messed up a little. Yeah, I didn't quite do that right, so I had to go back fix it after getting some errors here. And this is where I make it so that player 1 can decide when they want to make it player 2's turn. So after this, I just really had to make all the rest of the turns, copy paste it in, and fix the variables, which will be going on for a couple minutes. So just kick back and let that nice royalty-free music kick in. So here at the end, I was trying to send up the win conditions. I had it print out both players' scores. I set up a function that basically, if the scores were the same, it would say it was draw. Else, if player 1's score was greater than player 2's score, and player 1's score was less than 21, which I later changed to 22 to account for it being 21. And of course, this is not really taking into account a lot of the other rules of Blackjack, because I'll be honest, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just asked for a card game to be named and add Blackjack, and then I kind of just went with what I knew about it, which was not much. I mean, it was bad enough that I ended up just, you know, well, even screwing up the simplest part, which was the deck, which is literally just a list of all the numbers that are the cards. Now here I was trying to get this to work. I ended up making a, well, I had a lot of trouble getting this to work. It was really annoying, because it kept saying it was a draw, even though people were definitely winning here. As you can see, it was like 60 something to 19. So then I just made it set a variable fin, which is for finish, to 1, and then while that is equal to 1, it would check the win conditions, and if the win conditions were met, then it would print the who won, how much they won, and I forgot to add break to the function, so it spammed out the console, which was kind of funny. And then here I messed it up again. This does take quite a bit of time to run through, and Jazz just going through it, testing it, seeing that something was going wrong. So yeah, I was figuring out how I would end up doing this. I got some syntax errors. I was just trying to figure out what I did wrong with this. And yeah, that was a long and painful process, and I was also kind of tired at that point. So after a bunch of testing, which is still going, I decided to do that. And yeah, after doing that, it just seemed to work, which you can see here in this final run. And at that point I was really tired, so I just called it a day and went to sleep. Proud of actually making this thing work.